they say all men are created equal.
Shot! Master!
I pull out the Glock.
Full of suffering succotash, son.
It's one of your nuts hanging out of your shorts.
Real glass!
You have a father, but your father's dead.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the Too Sweet podcast with Lucy and Estelle, and it's so great to finally be back, the two of us. Estelle, I've missed you, and welcome back to the podcast. It's been quite a while, and it's been just not the same. I've done a couple on my own, and it's just like so nowhere near as fun. So I'm so glad to have you back, and I'm sure that everyone else is happy to have you back. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm okay. It's kind of funny because we went into this year with the best intentions. We did our Christmas episode. I think we did like a few episodes after that, but in that we had like this big thing for 2026, like all this different stuff we want to set out and do. And January hit and I just burnt the fuck out. I was like, oh my God. Not at the podcast, not just at the podcast. That would be ridiculous. That this 1.5 hours per week that I talk is just too much. But yeah, it was just like, okay, I need a little break. And then the little break became a big break. And then I caught the plague. And then I was anxious about coming back because I built it up in my head. And then there was another situation, which I guess I'm just going to address it now. But I was kind of in that headspace, like, okay, I'm kind of ready to come back. And then the situation, I think it was like late January, although it kind of came out mid-January, but the situation with Hangman came out and his affiliation with Marty's Girl. And I was already like building myself back up, and that came out, and I was just like so deflated in that moment, like seriously. So I did just want to talk about that for a minute because like, it's not even from the essence of, oh, cancel him or, oh, like, if you like him, you're a piece of shit. Like, I think everyone's going to have individual feelings on it, and I can respect that to an extent. But, like, for myself, like, this is someone that I've liked for a very long time. To me, it's like a similar situation with, like, CM Punk, where you like someone for a long time. Well, CM Punk, like, childhood hero, like, you look up to him for a long time, and you know, someone's set as like the progressive baby face of the company that can do no wrong, which already was too high, I think, of an expectation to put on anybody. But you know, that's kind of the I don't know, the identity that you have created across your career. But you know, with Hangman, it kind of goes back before AEW, like in New Japan when he was in the Bullet Club, and he was kind of on the outliers of that, which obviously is where the Mighty Girl friendship developed. But I think it's just like it hit as well at a moment where like the wider situation in the world, like the Epstein files, and just continuously seeing men hurt women and children, and just get away with it. It's fine. Let's eat babies. It's okay. It's just we're in the fucking Matrix, and it's just mental. And obviously, like, you watch wrestling to kind of get away from it, but I guess like everything is like political, and my point being is like you watching all this crazy shit go down, there's no repercussions, and then and I'm not saying that is the exact same thing as what Marty's Girl did, obviously not, but it's still the same of people doing terrible things and like, yeah, maybe get blacklisted from the industry, maybe there are some repercussions, but it feels like if you wait it out long enough, the consequences are outweighed. And if someone is nice to you, then it just doesn't matter. And I just have to say my truth on it, because like I said, it's not a cancel piece, it's not a work piece, it's not everyone agree with me right now. But it's just something I had to get off my chest because it's someone I've liked for a very long time, and now like it's taken my enjoyment out of the character. Like the best way to describe it is I have the ick. Like I just really have the ick. I'm like,
that's a good way to put
really
it.
sucked. It's really sucked like a lot of my enjoyment out of the character, which is a real shit. I'm not taking away from him his wrestling. I'm not taking away from his acting. I'm not saying he's irredeemable. He's a terrible person. Like anything like that, but I'm purely talking from a fan perspective and why I feel that way with the wider issues in society as a whole of just no repercussions, no accountability, and yeah, it's just not It's just not it. So anyway, I just had to vent and say my piece on that.
Yeah, of course, and I think you're absolutely right to address that, especially because, as you say, it sort of affected
Coming back
your.
with controversy
Yeah, I
straight
mean,
away.
damn, we're not holding
Boom.
back.
I'm back.
Estelle's back, everyone, and but like, this is part of the reason why, even if it was quite a minor reason, not the main reason, but like why we've not come back is just because, like you say, you were trying to build yourself back up and come back from burnout and make the podcast like just fit it in to your life again and like make it a priority again. Where then something like this happens and it disillusions you and it makes you think, well, what's the in extreme circumstances, like during speaking out, for instance, it makes you think, what's the fucking point? Because it's full of trash. It's a boys' club industry where men will, because it's their mate, back him up no matter what piece of shit he is. If you're unfamiliar with the situation, you can just Google it and find it. It's very easy to find out about what happened with Marty Skrull, but he was outed
I
during
think as
speaking
well.
out. Yeah, go on.
Sorry. I think as well it's hard as well because the thing that's really pissed me off about that situation is people throwing the two pence in and they're not from the UK. So
Mm,
again, we're not going to talk about it in detail because like I say, you can go find it all online. But the victim in this incident was a 16-year-old girl, and then people like throwing the two pence in or the dollar in, I guess, of like that of. Oh well, that's legal, so it's okay in the UK. It's not. It's
no,
not. Like
it's
I don't know
not.
why people have this like fucking idea, but that really like aggravated me to fuck. Like
Well, you can
it's
take
okay, guys. It's the UK. We're from the UK. I'm telling you, it's not okay.
yeah,
It's not okay.
you can take all legal definitions out of it and just say, well, is it all right for a drunk 16-year-old to have sexual relations with the 20, I believe he was 25 at the time. Is that or 26? Is that all right? No, it's not. So yeah, Hangman Adam Page was yeah, he had a selfie with Marty Skrull and it was uploaded and he was challenged by a journalist for this. And
He had a long statement.
props to the takedown, I believe they're called, for actually asking him about this because not many people would. So I think
Yeah, that's true.
it's important that we ask people these tough questions and make their actually answer to their actions. And he said, I think when it happened, I was obviously surprised, shocked. It didn't seem like the person I knew. But I mean, I knew now that it was, and I guess I was kind of like faced with a choice, like what to do with that information. And I reached out to him then because he faced a lot of consequences from the public. He lost his job from Ring of Honor. He was facing consequences from people online. So I checked to see how he was doing. I remained in touch with him for, what since then has been 6 years. I guess I will kind of make a couple things clear about it. I completely recognise that what he did, his actions are abhorrent, disgraceful. They are. There's no excuse. I completely recognise that. I've always thought that. I will always think that about his actions. And I guess as a consequence for his actions, the public has felt very strongly about what he did. And for 6 years, I think because of those reactions, he's been unable to be part of mainstream professional wrestling because of, what the public perception would be. I don't want that photo to seem like some sort of endorsement, or I have any interest whatsoever in whitewashing what he did, or any interest or intention of rehabilitating his public image. None of that is something I've ever been interested in doing, not now, not ever. And I think that the consequences of his actions that he's had mostly from the public, aside from like harassment, they've been warranted. So I just want to make that clear. So that's like a whole load of nothing. You've said so much and not really said anything. And here's the thing, he said he's been able to be a part of unable to be a part of mainstream professional wrestling. Yeah, mainstream being the operative word there. He's been wrestling on the fucking indies. Like, there's no, that's not a consequence. You know what I mean? That's not a consequence. And he's been wrestling in Mexico, for example, as well, and in like Puerto Rico, and it's just like, we could talk forever about this, but
Yeah, I mean,
at the end of
I'm
the
not even
day,
gonna open the can of worms and get into that because yeah, you
yeah,
could do like a 10-hour podcast of just
yeah.
ripping at shreds. And like I
At the
said,
end
that's
of the day,
not
like
what I'm
people
trying to do.
will say things like, oh, well, if someone makes a mistake, does that mean that they can't ever have a career ever again? No, it just means stay out of the public eye. Stay out of a place where you might be exposed to minors and women who clearly your identity, it just, these things doesn't compute
Yeah,
with a lot of people,
I
and it's,
think
protecting the hypothetical career of a man over the safety of women and minors and what have you. So
Yeah, I think not like picking into it too much, but I think the other thing that really stuck with me that I just couldn't let go of was the fact that he was a teacher as well. So he
Yeah.
understands that position of power. He understands like what a 16-year-old is, what a 16-year-old's mind is like
Yeah.
the immaturity there. Like he understands all of that. And then that was the thing that I just couldn't get past. But anyway, it's bad. It's not by the by. It's a rough one because like yeah, I'm not trying to get into a territory of everything then becomes like fucking tribalism and people
Oh
chipping in
yeah.
and it just kind of becomes toxic and then it moves away from the point of like what we're actually
Exactly, yeah.
talking about and
Yeah.
m- I'm also aware that me being angry and ranting about it if I was to do it that way is just going to push people further away from like actually questioning it because then people get defensive because it's their favorite wrestler and yada yada. So yeah, I think people just need to kind of come to their conclusions on it on their
Yeah.
own. But I like I said, I had to say it because it'd just be weird if like
Well,
I'm talking about someone who was like in my top 10 favorite wrestlers and I'm just like off about them. Like it had to be addressed before we like dive into shit. So
well,
yeah, but
exactly.
again, not taking away from him as a wrestler or anything like that.
Well, exactly, and like I'm not even gonna start what I was gonna say. I'm just gonna stop myself. Point
Yeah,
is,
because it's just so hard, isn't
it,
it?
it's difficult. Um, but we are an authentic podcast. That's it. We're not gonna like, skip around sensitive topics or something like, we speak our truth
Yeah,
and that's
absolutely.
it. So whether that makes us unpopular, that's really not what we're about. We're just here to just to say what we think is right and stand by what we believe in. So that's that really.
Also, I did miss everyone. I realised I didn't say that at the start. Thank you to everyone for sticking around. I'm a bit scattered. Obviously, I'm always scattered, so I'm not going to apologise for that. But like when I was ill, there was lots of nice comments. So
Yeah, there was.
thank you for people who have continued to support the podcast, even though content hasn't come out. And yeah, hopefully I mean, don't judge us too harshly on this episode, okay? Like we're just coming back, but hopefully it'll be up to your expectations.
Well, I think that I'm sorry if I seem distracted by the way. I'm just trying to find my fucking laptop charger and I can't.
Oh shit.
I can't find it. My laptop might die, but anyway, that's fine. That's what this podcast's all about. We're fucking authentic, and people are happy to see you back as well because we love you. And yeah, thanks everyone for sticking with us through our little. I guess well, it's not even really a hiatus. It's just a couple of weeks. It's not really that deep, but we're back now, and that's the main thing. Um, Before we get into reviewing Dynamite. I want to plug something really quickly. It's the For the Love of Wrestling convention. It's happening tomorrow and Sunday in Manchester at the BEC Arena, which is near the Trafford Centre. And it's the biggest wrestling convention in Europe. And I sound like I'm sponsored. I'm not sponsored. I'm just plugging it because I am going to be commentating at the Future Shock after party show that's going to be amazing. Lots of amazing guests at the convention that you can come and meet. You can come get your autographs, get your pictures, come and listen to Q&As. I'm going to be there milling around during the day. I'm really excited. Swerve Strickland's going to be there. Samoa Joe, like a lot of top AEW stars. Who else off the top of my head?
I'm on for the interview.
Yeah, I know. I'm like,
Network.
I should take my mic with me and be like, hi guys, I'm going to be on my
Hey
podcast.
guys.
Who else is going to be there? Soraya's going to be there. Frankie Kazarian's going to be there. He's also wrestling. JR and the King, Jim. I can't remember. Jerry Laura. They're doing a. They're
Oh,
doing
another
a.
nonce.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Pedestaled. Sorry, I'm that way out.
Yeah. So,
Uh,
but yeah, it's going to be really good. And I think that like meet and greet ops have gone off sale now. But if there's any left, you'll be able to get some still at the weekend, but they'll be more expensive. But I'm pretty sure that you can still get entry tickets now, and you can still buy your tickets if you don't fancy the convention but want to come and watch an awesome wrestling show put on by Future Shock in the evening. You can still get your tickets for that, and it's going to be huge. It's going to be absolutely mega. So that's all
yeah,
I
are you
wanted
going to
to
actually
plug.
go to the convention then, or are you just like
Yeah,
as
I
a fan,
am.
are you going to the convention? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go and watch some of the panels before the show.
Amazing.
I'm excited. Sorry, I'm just going to pause it because I really need to find my charger. So all that's out the way now. Let's do what we're here to do, which is review Dynamite. So we had Grand Slam Australia at the weekend, which was a great show. I enjoyed it a lot. So we had like a fallout from that. I did review Dynamite not this week, but the week before. And I didn't actually watch it last week because I was on holiday, like I mentioned. So if there's gaps in my knowledge, that's why. But I did watch Grand Slam, and yeah, it was good. We started this week's Dynamite off with similar to the last time I reviewed Dynamite with like the collision style like little promos to camera, which I think quite a nice like little bite-sized way of getting everyone caught up with what's going on. We had Mina saying that she wants the TBS title, Willow saying she's up for the challenge because there was going to be a four-way match, may the best woman win. Upbeat as always. Megan Bain said two lines of dialogue with no aura whatsoever, and we don't hear from Marina, so okay. And then Swerve was like looking pretty intense, saying that he needs to beat Kenny, and then Kenny
Did he
was,
have eyeliner on?
"Do I have eyeliner on?"
No, did he have eyeliner
Oh.
on?
Yeah,
I swear he had eyeliner
I
on.
think
It
he
was
did,
like
yeah.
he's in intense mode, guys. He's got the eyeliner on.
We should have
Suits him. He
seen,
looked good with it. Don't get me wrong, but
we should have seen it coming. What happened by the end of the show? It was foreshadowed by the eyeliner. But
eyeliner.
speaking of looking good, then we had Kenny, who was just looking absolutely delectable, can I just say? Saying that Swerve was in his way, and but all that changed when he takes him out. So yeah, I was like, fucking hell, this is intense. We've got title matches. We've got Kenny versus Swerve, which to me it feels like a big time match. I was like, Christ alive. Just getting like, okay, we're in all go mode, ready for Revolution. And then then it went into an interview with Renee with Orange Cassidy, because basically they're trying to sell this story that Roderick Strong is like done with the conglomeration. He's like walking out on them. So Orange Cassidy's had to find a new tag team partner, and he was like, "Oh well, the good thing about the conglomeration is that there's a lot of us." And then Ishii was there. So they're gonna wrestle Gabe Kidd and Clark Connors later in the evening.
What do you think of Gabe Kidd and Clark Connors?
Well, yeah, I'm
Well, Clark
happy.
Connors had like a bit more of a showing. He had a few showings on Collision.
Has he? Okay, because I was a bit lost by the whole thing because I believe 2 weeks ago I said like, who is this random guy? I am confused.
He's had like a bit of a rep in New Japan for a while.
Okay, well, fair enough. Fair enough. That's on me for not keeping up with New
What
Japan.
do you think about Ace Austin? I don't think we've spoke about him,
Ace
but he's
Austin.
been about. Yeah.
What what about him?
Is like what I don't know, do you like him? Do you think he's good? I'm just trying to think of people we
Uh,
hadn't really spoke about or hadn't had the chance to talk about.
I feel like there's a lot of things that we haven't had a chance to even like address. There's a lot of drama, like what fucking Hobbs leaving,
Oh
Jumper
yeah, I
coming
forgot about
in,
that.
so much stuff.
Champa! Dude, I'm so happy Champa's in the dub. Like, oh my God, his debut is sick. And he just looks like he belongs there. Like he
He
just,
looks like an
you
AEW
know,
wrestler.
yeah, like someone just debuts in AEW and it's just like, oh my God, this makes so much sense. Like, it's not a take or leave it situation. It's like for me, I'm like, oh my God, like. Yes. And out of the two, like Champa's always been my preferred out of like Gargano and Champa. Champa's always been my boy. So yeah, I'm super hyped about that. And I'm kind of coming round to Andrade as well,
Oh
like
yeah.
in the Don Callis family. I think he kind of fills a hole in the Callis family I didn't realize that he had, which is
Mm.
ridiculous because so many fucking members. But I think the issue was that really there's only three, like Okada, Kyle, and Takeshita, and then three's kind of like an odd number, and
Mm.
then Takeshita and Okada have got like their storyline, and Kyle's kind of flittering in and out doing his own thing. Nothing wrong with that, but then I just think Andrade, like there is like that fourth pillar of the Callis family, and this is from someone who's not been the hottest on the Callis family as a whole, and not been that hot on Andrade. Yeah, but no, I've bought into it now. I've bought into it.
Yeah, I think he fits in the family really well, and I love his silly gimmick that all the women love him and stuff, and he's just giving out his the proverbial Snapchat to all the girls. Yeah, I agree with everything you said, and it's crazy, isn't it? Because I don't feel like I don't have any major thoughts at the top of my head because it's not dead recent, but because like we've literally not had the chance to talk it through, and it's just like, damn. But
Tekla winning the
oh my
women's
God,
title.
yeah,
Not the women's title. Yeah, it was the women's title.
CBS.
Holy shit, yes, it was
Oh yeah,
title.
yeah. Of course
No,
it
it
was.
is,
Yeah,
yeah, start as the women's champion.
yeah,
Yeah.
damn.
No, oh my God. I was so happy. I mean, I love both those women.
Yeah.
That is like the ultimate Estelle Bruff female fantasy. And they were there. And oh my God, like, and Tekla winning, I just feel like they pulled the trigger at the right time. Like, it was that great surprise sort of win that you weren't expecting, but like a surprise win where you're not mad at it, which
hmm
is how I kind of felt like when MJF won the title, or when Joe picked up the title. Like, you're not mad at it because it's exciting. It's not undermining to start. And sometimes I feel like that makes the champion actually look stronger. Whereas when you have a champion who's been world champion for, say, like 400 days, and then they
Yep.
have this really long drawn out program with someone, and they have like a 50-minute match and they lose, it feels really final and it sucks a lot of the momentum out of them. So when they come back,
Okay.
it's
Yeah.
like, well, what the fuck do we do now? But I think sometimes with like a surprise win, that sometimes makes it because it's like unfinished business, and I think like it's underestimated the power of not sucking the momentum, not sucking the juice out of that particular person. And that's how I feel about Stat anyway. I don't feel like, oh, she's at ground zero, like, oh, she's gonna have to build herself back up. Like, it still feels like she's still on
Yeah.
that level. And Tekla wins the women's world championship, as she fucking should, because she's fucking incredible. Like, hell yeah, so
Yeah.
into it.
Well, she's like probably. Well, she's definitely one of the best stars in terms of not just in-ring work, but also charisma as well, which we've talked about a lot on the podcast. So it only makes sense that you should strike the iron while it's hot with her, and she's got a lot of interest from people. And I totally agree with what you're saying about like championship reigns and things, because it's kind of like instead of it tapering off and then you stop it when it's kind of lost its momentum at the bottom, it's like you say, it's still kind of at this upwards peak, and then you cut it off. So it's like there's still room to grow in, and it makes a really interesting sort of story for Statlander to try and fight back and get it back. And with that championship, I think there's no harm in having quite short reigns, because I don't know. It's kind of it's nuanced, isn't it? 'Cause obviously you don't want it to be dead short because then it's silly. But I just think that the way they've gone about this has been really good for just making it feel like an important championship, because Tekla winning it feels really huge. So yeah, I totally agree with you there.
And then on that note, what do you think about the TNT title and how that's kind of been? Because
Oh my
that's
God,
similar in it, the
yeah.
short reigns, hot potato, and about like what's your thoughts on that?
Well, I was really surprised because I thought I was like tripping. I was like, I swear Tommaso Ciampa was champion, but then suddenly he wasn't, and I had to like Google it, like, oh, I've just got it wrong. I got the wrong championship. So to me, that felt strange. Like it felt a bit like did did they put it on him as sort of like a knee-jerk reaction and then be like, shit, we need Kyle to be champion because we're going to Australia, give it him back. That's
Yeah, I
what it
think
felt
so.
like.
I
But
think so.
why couldn't it be Kyle Fletcher versus Tommaso Ciampa in Australia, and Kyle Fletcher beat him in Australia for the championship? Surely that would have been better.
That has more foresight. Yeah. And speaking of champions, what do you think about MJF's title reign now that it's kind of had the wheels turning a little bit? How are we feeling about that?
I mean, I have enjoyed it so far. I enjoyed his thing with Brody King. I
Mm.
loved the fact that Brody beat him on Dynamite, like caught him totally off guard. It's like this is where your attitude has got you, MJF. and now you have to fight me and you're scared of me. I thought that worked really well. And then,
An eliminator or whatever the fuck that thing is, it eliminator
yeah,
where
yeah,
you've got
yeah.
to beat like it's such a bullshit stip. But in that instance, it worked and it
Yeah,
had charm.
yeah, definitely. Um, but um, yeah. And then the match at Grand Slam, I thought again was good. But him being an asshole to retain if I believe he was a low blow, right? So I'm kind of a bit like, fine. I knew that Brody King wasn't going to beat him for the championship, but this is not really new, is it? MJF cheating to win the championship, and now it's going to be Hangman versus MJF at Revolution, and I'm a bit like, okay, all reliable. It's going to be great. I'm sure it is, but could we have had something a bit fresher?
But the
That's
stakes are high though. I mean, we're kind of getting ahead of ourselves now, but like the stakes are high for that match.
yes, true.
It's got a stip that everyone hates. It worked so well with Cody that, you can't challenge for the world title ever. Let's bring that one back. But yeah, I mean, I feel quite positive towards. I mean, the fact that also it's a Texas death match, like that's pretty
Is that?
sick. The
I don't think
stips are
that's been
high.
confirmed yet, has it? Because isn't it like they're both going to bring their ideas for a stip and then the fans get to choose? That was my interpretation of it.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're
So
right. And he
Hangman
was
was
like,
like, well, I know what
Texas
my pick
death
is.
match.
MJF is still thinking. I don't know, a bit weird.
Bras and panties match. Book it.
Yes, this is what the fans really want.
I would vote for that. But
But
yeah,
I mean, what do you think about his title reign then?
I like it. Like I just find it very stabilizing.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
old reliable, but it works. I really enjoyed the interview that he did with Chris Van Fleet recently, which was like interesting because Chris Van Fleet just seems to only do WWE guys these days.
Mm,
So I was surprised to see Max do an interview, but I really, really liked it. Really raw and just again just him kind of saying that there is a double standard, that people hold him to a higher standard and he can't just have an okay day, he can't just have an okay match, it has to be amazing. And like that's kind of been in the back of my mind. And
mm, yeah.
yeah, I understand both sides of the argument though, like people being like, oh, like Max is tired, his gimmick's tired, but I think he's been on top of the food chain for so long. He makes moments. He knows how to make people feel. And when
Yeah.
all is said and done, even if he did this same bullshit for another 10 fucking years, he's still going to be remembered as one of the greatest. Like his
So true.
achievements, like how over he got at such a young age and what he's been able to build for himself
Yeah.
is unlike anything. And I think he can't win because like people on that interview I remember were commenting like, oh, using kayfabe, that's so cringe. And I was like, why are we hating on people using kayfabe? Like that was just, I really did not understand that because there was an influx of people hating on him for using kayfabe. I'm like, what? Like, nah, that's cool as fuck. But it's just that's again just one of those things people flip flop about, and people flip flop about Max. But and he had some interesting comments as well about like when he was gonna go, when he was signing his contract and he might have potentially gone to WWE or AEW, and he chose AEW. Then all the Fed fans like kind of turned their back on him. Like they were like,
You suck.
you know, yeah, we never wanted MJF anyway. But no, I've enjoyed it. Is it like the greatest thing ever? I think there's just too much kind of going on, but I think that's on purpose. Like it's been intentional for many months now that Tony Khan, it's really evident, has long-term plans for the characters, and that came out tonight with Swerve, and how he acted in the match and post-match. Like yeah, there's a lot of spinning plates and a lot of things that are kind of going into this. So yeah, it kind of does take away, I think, from the reign because this isn't linear, it's not one dimensional, it's not me champion, me have one program with one person and move on to next. But then the fact that it's not means we get fun shit like Brody fucking King challenging for the title. You know, it's not a bad thing. But yeah, I can understand it's like old shtick, same old Max, and there's a lot of wider, exciting things that happening outside the ring. But I think Max is the core catalyst for that, because if you didn't have Max as champion and you had all the other individuals, so you could have had Kenny as champion, or you could have had Hangman as still champion, but all these arcs wouldn't have worked. He has to be in the middle as that antagonistic force for these things to happen, and it makes Swerve in his turn more shocking, because it's like we're supposed to be standing up to this dick who's at the top, and yet what the fuck are you doing, Swerve, with your eyeline on? You know, so I fucking like it, but I'm a big MJF mark, so yeah.
Yeah, and I think you're so right. I think you're so right in like the moving, all the different moving parts are like they all fit together in the long term, and we are seeing that sort of working out, especially with, yeah, like you said, the Swerve turn, which is spoiler alert at the end of this show. I just feel like I just don't know if would MJF versus Andrade have been, but that wouldn't. But then they're both heels, so that wouldn't have been any better, I don't think. But I just kind of look at it, I'm just think, I don't know if I don't know.
I think it's just one of those where we're just gonna have to see where it goes, because I do
Yeah.
have faith in this storyline as a whole, because like I said, it's very obvious that it's not knee-jerk reaction. It's not, oh
Mm.
shit, we're off to Australia, get Kyle
Yeah.
belted up. You know, if you can tell there's thought going into it, so we'll see when we finish the full arc, which you would assume would be all in. We'll see then, and then I think we can come to a conclusion.
Yeah, yeah, you're absolutely right. And I like that because feel like we have trust from like previous experiences that there usually is a long-term goal in mind, that like, okay, we can trust the process. We might not see the vision now, but in the end we will. Like the John Moxley title reign, for instance. And I think it's really good that we've built up that AEW have built up that trust with the audience, that we can sort of be along for the ride. But speaking of John Moxley, he was wrestling in the opening match on Dynamite. Have you finished? Have we finished
Yeah, that
discussing
was
what we were
like
discussing?
the wrap up. Yeah,
We've covered a lot, and yeah,
tried to
but
cover the missing gaps.
yeah. So it was John Moxley versus Mark Davis in a Continental Championship Eliminator match, our favorite type of match. In the opening, John Moxley was out to a really big pop, which I wanted to talk to you about, like him. I feel like I can't remember what point we got up to with his turn before, but it's been. I remember you talking about it kind of in the solo review that you did in I think it was in January, just sort of how impressive and organic it's been that John Moxley like has turned. I want to say turn things around, but it makes it sound like it was really negative and now it's really good. That's not really what I mean, but just sort of like switched it up, and it's been very organic and really natural. And I love that for him. It's masterful.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I think as well, AEW's not really been going down the obvious route, so
Mm.
we could feel these tensions, and there was foreshadowing that the Death Riders are gonna turn on Mox, but they haven't done that. And then I feel like with Swerve choosing to have his turn with Kenny as opposed to with Hangman, like they're not going the easy road, which I think is risky, because sometimes it's like, well, the easy road is best, but it also makes it really interesting as a view. I just feel like the product at the minute, like with Tekla winning, and I just feel like they're on top form. And something that's really stood out for me, and sorry, I'm making a lot of general observations, I'm
Oh, okay.
sorry, but
Yeah.
the wrestling has been so good, so good. Like the matches, the lengths, the showings, the work rate. I mean, it's always good, but it's just been on another fucking level.
Yeah.
And then another thing, like watching this episode in particular, there was not one point where there was a lack of star power. One person came on, and then there was a promo, and there was a match, and every single person that came out is a fucking star.
Yeah.
And even the mid card is sick. It's defined. It's fun. The women's division, like the tag women's division, like everything
It's all
to
popping off.
me was popping.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Really, really popping. So
Yeah, you're so right.
yeah, and Mox is part of that, absolutely. And this match was and I feel like also thematically there's just been a lot of really just kicking the shit out of each other. Like
Oh my gosh,
some
yeah.
really stiff matches, like that
I
Takeshita
thought,
Mox match, that was
yeah.
sick. And then this one with Davis, like I was like, man's gonna crack a rib with
I thought
those
that on
chops.
like
Jesus.
all of the matches on this card, pretty much like they're going incredibly hard. And I found myself writing the same points over and over again. Oh, this is stiff. Oh, they're not holding back. This is hard hitting. There was something in the water tonight, but I think you're so right. I think that's not just this episode of Dynamite. It's consistently like people are going balls to the wall and treating like a match on Dynamite almost as if it's a pay-per-view match.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And
No one's dialing it in. No one.
no, and the same at Grand Slam Australia. Like that's technically not a pay-per-view, but it's a big special event, and they all treated it as such. Um, but yeah, so we had uh yeah, like I mentioned, Moxley out to a really big pop and Renee like introducing the match, which is like a sort of a thing that she does with the Continental belt, which is really nice, and she's very talented to be able to whittle all that off at the top of her head and not stumble over her words at all. With a live crowd in front of a live camera, like it's crazy. She very, very good at what she does, and I love her getting a bit of airtime, being able to do that. So then at Grand Slam Australia, John Moxley and Takeshita drew, which I think was a good result.
That match. Could we just talk about that match? So
Yeah, let's do it.
I was really surprised because it felt like they gave me everything,
Yeah.
but I felt like there was still more. And like I'm excited for the next match, and like the
Yeah.
draw made perfect sense. And I think
Yeah.
that's such a hard balance. But normally you can tell like when there's a conscious holding back, like we're not going to go all out. But they did go all out. But I still
Yeah.
feel like there's more. I can't explain it. Like
No, you're explaining it
it was
perfectly.
just so good, and I want more.
Well,
And
usually,
that's the sim. I can't. But yeah, I feel very strongly about this.
well,
I fucking
usually
loved it.
when wrestlers do like a match and they intend to have a rematch, it's sort of like, oh, we're going to hold a little bit back so that you're not got it all. But yeah, what you're saying is you didn't get that sense in this match. I feel like they gave us it all, and that's absolutely right. I totally agree. It was great, and I think the result makes complete sense, and I'm so excited to see them go at it again, and it feels like even bigger stakes somehow with it being a rematch. So yeah, totally agree with you. So also another point to make is that we had Danielson back on commentary, which I was really glad about because I feel like Excalibur and Shivani don't really work as a duo. Not really sure what it is about that dynamic that just doesn't really work when it's just the two of them, but when you stick a third person in, whether that's Taz or Danielson, it's chef's kiss, it's beautiful. So yeah, it's great to have Bryan Danielson back on commentary. He's great at that. Don Callis was not on commentary, and they always do that when it's a Moxley match, like, oh, he's too scared of John Moxley to turn up, so that's funny. So to start off, we had Mark Davis and like his smash mouth, no nonsense style, like dominating Moxley, and Moxley selling it really well, like he does. But it wasn't like a boring, slow pace. Like these two have quite similar styles, and sometimes when you get a clash of similar styles, it can be quite boring, especially when it is like sort of brawling and, like I mentioned, like hard hitting. But this definitely wasn't that. I enjoyed it a lot. I thought it was a really good match. The turning point came when Davis went for like I think it was like a chop, like sort of on the ring post on the outside. Moxley moved out the way and he hit his hand, and it was bleeding. And then Moxley, he did a tope suicida, and then after that he was tagged in the hand, which I thought was just a great bit of psychology. And whether I don't even believe that it was probably not even a blade job, like on the hand. I think it was just sort of serendipitous that they were going to work the hand and it started bleeding, and they really went all in on that. Um, so it was sort of as if Moxley was showing him, look, I'm the really violent one. I'm the sicko. Look how violent I can get. He was it was visceral. He was going after his hand, like bending his fingers back and things like that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, it was
sorry, go on.
awesome. No, I was just gonna say it was just awesome for sure. And like, yeah, Mox looks like more of the sicko, but I thought Davis really held his own. And Davis isn't one of
Yeah.
those people that like I really give a shit about, to be
No,
honest
yeah.
with you guys. Like when he came back and it was obvious that uh, they weren't going to reunite him and Kyle, which I think was the right decision. But it was like, well,
Yeah.
what is he
At
going to
the
do
time,
now? Like, or he's just going to kind of dissolve into the background of the Callis
yeah.
family, part of the ship, part of the crew. Um, but yeah, I was seeing a bit of star power, and I was like, okay, I'm not
Yeah.
going to underestimate you.
hmm Yeah,
Very good, sir.
absolutely. Absolutely, yeah, me too. I believe it was Matt Davis who went for like who hit like a gut wrench into a pile driver, which was a really cool move. But eventually in the end, like Moxley, they were sort of going back and forth, and the finish sort of came out of nowhere. So like they was like grappling, and Moxley reversed it into a bulldog choke for the win. So it was quite a scrappy win, and like I mentioned, very back and forth, and a hard fought victory. So yeah, Mark Davis did look really strong in this, and it was a really good match. You know, on paper, like you said, I'm not pissing my pants with excitement over a Mark Davis match, but now I'm like, well, maybe I should be pissing my pants because that was really good. But
Yep.
that's uh that's pretty much it with that match. Did you have anything else to add about that? Um, so then they sort of played a replay from Grand Slam Australia with Hangman backstage. He's furious at MJF and he vows to end him. And he said if he ever tries anything like a low blow on him, I can't remember exactly what he said, but you'll fucking die. Words to that effect, but not exactly that. And then it was funny because commentary were like, "What's going on? This isn't on our run sheet." FCR came down with Stokely wheelchair bound.
This
Um,
was a funny segment.
it was extremely funny. So, FTR cut a promo. To be honest, I couldn't really hear what they were saying because the crowd were chanting,
They
"Shut the
called
fuck
the
up!"
they
so
called the
loudly.
Bucks' kids domestic terrorists that were running around the back. Were like, wait, no, it was domestic terrorists.
Oh my God, I know, I did hear that part. I actually do remember that now. Yeah. Um, the bit that I picked up on, which made me laugh the most, was Stokely saying he hates how fake wrestling is. You know, the Young Bucks shaking hands with Private Party now after the end. They tried to end their career last year. I was like, you know what? Fair enough. That's a fair enough observation, Big Stoke. Um, and then he continued to talk while the Young Bucks came down to the ring and they took out FTR and he didn't even notice.
Oh, comedy gold,
It was
comedy gold. Wrestling
way
is
funnier.
panto.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so fucking true. It was way funnier than it had any right to be, and he was like, "Yeah, guys, yeah, you agree with me." And then he got super kicked in the wheelchair by the Young Bucks and sold it like a god. Hilarious, 10 out of 10 segment. And then the Young Bucks challenged FTR at Revolution. So we have the Bucks versus FTR coming up at the pay-per-view, which is another one of those matches where it's like, yeah, we've seen it before, but we know it's going to be good. So are we complaining? Not really.
Yeah, there should be like there should be feature films at your local cinema, but it's just compilations of like great match series with certain wrestlers.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'd love
I
that.
would love that. Yeah, like Kenny Okada. It's just back
Yeah.
to back, and you sit in the cinema and you eat like
Sat
your
there all
snacks and
day.
shit. Hell yeah.
I mean, there's some cinemas.
Drink every time you see a super kick
This is a
with
great idea.
FTR. Take a
So
shot every time.
there's some like cinemas that you can rent out and you can show whatever the fuck you want. And I'm thinking,
They used to do that at our uni, didn't they? In the
yeah,
lecture hall. They used to rent it out for films.
I'm
Didn't so I don't think I did, but didn't like our society, I swear, watch a pay-per-view in one of those, or have I just made that shit straight up?
I'm not sure. I can't remember. I don't think I ever attended one where we put it on in the lecture theatre. They used to have
Or was that just
meetings
an
in the
idea?
library and got kicked out because they were doing it in the quiet section of the library. But anyway, that's
With
besides
the
the point.
24/7 title.
Yeah, yeah. Shout out to the
Oh,
society
life was
still going
so much
strong.
simpler.
Oh my God, I know. I went out last night and I could hear like this group of uni friends talking. I was like, I missed when my problems were like that. Like, oh my God, she moved colleges. No, she's not living with us anymore. I was like, they're not cleaning the kitchen. Oh my God, wish my problems were still that.
Yeah.
What the hell was I talking about? Yeah, I've got a that's an amazing idea. Like, we could put on an event like come to the cinema, watch every single
Oh
Kenny
my God,
Omega
yeah.
Okada
If we
match,
have
and
money, let's crowdfund this.
yeah,
We
or
will
like
host it.
you
Our watch
charge like
party.
£5 for a ticket, and it's like, and we host a drinking game. I mean, that's a business side. Someone's gonna steal
But I
that.
don't think I would charge for a ticket. I think I would be like, you've got to bring the most random wrestling related thing ever.
Oh, like a little competition.
Yeah, like you've
We've
got
got
to
the most obscure
pay.
piece of merch.
Yeah, you've got to pay with the most obscure piece of merch. Oh my God, I was born to be a content creator, baby. Look
Yeah,
at these
literally.
juices, they're flowing.
Where were these ideas when we were in the society? Just saying.
We
Okay.
weren't ready for world domination back then.
No, we
That
were too
was
busy.
the origin years.
We're at full form now. Uh,
Yep.
what was next? So yeah, we've talked about FTR.
The show,
Any
yeah.
other thoughts about FTR? Oh, that's why, because we were saying like,
No?
because FTR versus the book is like a series of awesome
Yeah, yeah.
matches. Um. So yeah, and then we had.
Oh,
Oh,
no,
sorry.
don't bring that up.
What?
I was just gonna randomly say all in tickets are on sale
Oh yeah,
in March.
that piece of news. That's exciting.
That
And
is
we'll be.
really fucking exciting.
It
I'm
feels
pretty
like
sure
it's
they
been a long
announced it in
time
the
coming.
show, so it's not that random.
It
Yeah,
might have
but
been. Yeah, it might have
Lucy,
been at this point.
the first 2 years, maybe not the last year, but
Mm.
I swear they released the tickets much closer to the show. Because I feel like this is a lot of warning, but I
You
swear
think?
at least the first 2 years, it was really near.
Yeah,
Especially the first year.
I feel like every year
I swear it was
people
like
are
a month
like,
before.
oh, there's not a lot of time to get tickets. Why haven't they put tickets on sale? Like, I swear that happens every single year, but I can't remember exactly when they went on sale.
Yeah, but this just
I-
feels like a reasonable time, doesn't it?
yeah, it does, to be fair. I feel like
And
maybe,
it's like reasonable amount of warning as well. Like not like it's not on sale next week. It's also like in a
oh
month's
yeah.
time. I'll have been paid. I'm like, yeah,
I
that's
really
acceptable.
appreciate him doing that because a lot of artists nowadays are like, "Daw, on sale tomorrow," and it's like, ah, I'm
Here's
so
the
glad that they're
20
not.
different pre-sales.
Yeah, and it's horrible, and you bankrupt, and everyone's queuing for the same fucking ticket, and it's an absolute nightmare. I have PTSD for trying to get fucking Harry Styles tickets. Don't want to talk about it, but yeah, so that's exciting, and I feel like maybe because we know in advance, like every year, that this event is going to happen on bank holidays, so it's always like, oh well, we're just waiting for it constantly in anticipation of these tickets going on sale. But yeah, it seems like a pretty reasonable time scale for us to get all organised and stuff. But
Yeah, and it's
look forward
exciting to
to
be
our
back at
London trip.
Wembley, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean the O2 was great, but like Wembley's,
I've missed it.
yeah,
I'm ready for it. Yeah, like yeah,
Wembley's Wembley.
you don't get the visual. Like you're definitely not going to be as close as
Yeah,
we were in the O2, but not that the atmosphere for Forbidden Door was bad because it wasn't. The crowd was alive, but the atmosphere at Wembley, like
it's
how
just somewhere
big
else.
it is, the
Yeah,
crowd, like the production,
it
it's
makes
another
it
level.
feel like a really monumental event because you can have like any sort of show in a stadium like the O2 pretty much anytime you want. Like WWE goes there quite often. Wembley feels like, okay, this is really quite special because not everyone can fill Wembley. So I'm excited for that.
I'll be curious to see what the ticket sales will be though, because obviously it goes
Yeah.
down every year, which makes sense. Like the novelty wearing off
It's
and
hard,
people
isn't
being like,
it?
once you know something's going to happen every year, like it's easy to pass. Whereas when it's like the initial years, there's
You don't want to miss out.
that novelty draw. So I'm really curious to see what we're gonna be looking at.
It's hard to go, I suppose. I don't know, no, but like go from stadium, arena back to stadium. I wonder
Yeah, as well,
what's
like
going to
that
happen
jump.
there because presumably like people missed out on the O2, so then it's like will people that missed out decide to come to Wembley or like I don't know what's going to happen. But we then had Brody King. Moving on, I can't remember exactly what this even was. All I wrote down was there was very loud "fuck ice" chants while Brody King pledges that he was looking for a fight.
Yeah,
Is
and he went viral for that as well,
yeah,
which
hmm
is cool. Like into like non-wrestling mainstream media, so that's a good thing
yeah,
to for wrestling to go viral because normally it's like human trafficking scandal, like
yeah,
shit
yeah.
like that. Oh, you know what? This is quite a nice thing for us to be represented by. More of this, please.
And yeah, it's not often, is it, that it'd be something sort of politically aligned in that way. So
No,
it's
no, it's
good.
normally the other.
I guess it's good. I don't guess it is good optics for AEW for like sort of trying to position themselves as like a very alternative to WWE in the political landscape where Trump is um what I meant to say there was where Triple H is pro-Trump and then I just said Trump and whatever, but maybe a Freudian slip there, but you know what I mean. So
Triple H is Trump.
yeah,
No, yeah, totally, totally. Um, it's good for the obviously not. It's not done for the branding. It's done because he's a real one. But yeah,
right, exactly. And I feel like coming like because we've just been talking about like the UK shows and stuff as well. Everyone in the UK doesn't really matter what your political alignment is. Pretty much everyone in the UK hates Donald Trump. So
yeah.
I was going to make a connection there to what's
Maybe like
happening as
ten
well, but
percent or
mhm,
15% are like,
mm,
yeah, Nigel Farage. We need Trump.
mm.
We need. I want. No, there's some people that like they want America to buy us.
There's some crazy people out there, but yeah, it's maybe changed now, but definitely a few years ago it was like Trump is this idiot. Why is he president? And now it's like, oh God, he's president again. Anyway, I don't even know what my point was. Something about Wembley, something about London. Brody King, we love you. Anyway, let's move on. The TBS Championship match was next, so that was a
Fucking
fall-away
liberals.
match. Marina Shafir versus Mina Shirakawa versus Megan Bayne versus Willow Nightingale. So
This was very nice.
very
Very
nice.
nice. And I thought everyone like in typical four-way fashion, everyone had the chance to shine. But I also think Megan Bayne shines really well in these matches because she
Yeah.
gets those moments where she comes in, absolutely levels everyone, gets to have those big spots. But you're
Yes.
not getting so much of that and so much of her that it's too overpowering. I know for some people they're really high on her, really smoking the Megan Bayne fumes, which is sick. I'm happy for you, but like for myself, like it's just enough. It's just enough for the food palette, you know.
Yes. Yeah, I totally agree. Well, I feel I had a point about Megan Byrne that maybe I didn't actually write down. I thought I did, but I remember thinking this when I was watching it. Like, she's grown on me quite a lot because I mean, there's a lot of big spots that she brings to this type of match, like explosive offense that really like adds to the excitement, I suppose. And you know, she's this dominating figure. And also, as well, I just love how we have four different personalities, styles, and looks in this match. It's just a great representation of the diversity of the women's division. And, like you mentioned, the depth of the women's division, which hasn't always been the case. Yeah, Megan Bayne hit a super Hurricane Rana like quite early on in the match, which was really impressive. She threw Mina outside of the ring, which, yeah, just a lot of strength and like these kind of like risky moves, like you said earlier. Like they're just no one's holding it in. It felt just they were putting their all into this match essentially. Early on, like Mina took a big dive to the outside onto everyone as well. Willow looked really strong. She was hitting a lot of spine busters on people. And because of like, the way a four-way match functions, where there's not really like any resting or anything, there was a big audience reaction to that, to the ongoing action, which was great. Great to see the women getting quite a lot of time in this match and a nice reception from the crowd. So it was functioning sort of in a similar way to a tag team match. So we had like the two heels teaming together, and obviously Willow and Mina sort of having a bit of an alliance. But it was a lot more interesting than obviously if this was a tag team match. But eventually, Megan Bayne and Marina just broke down, and Marina got powerbombed on the timekeeper's table, which looked pretty gnarly, and the table didn't break. It just looked like she hit really fucking hard. And then back inside the ring, Willow did like an avalanche German onto Megan Bayne, which was insane. She like landed on her head. Fucking hell, yeah, it was just a lot. There was a lot going on. Mina looked like she was about to win. She was hitting all the strikes and the back fist. And then she went for a figure four, but Willow rolled her up for the win. And to be honest, it was an epic match. I loved it. Probably Kenny versus Swerve was obviously really, really good, but I don't know if this is maybe my match of the night. I just loved it.
Yeah, and I think as well, like Willow going from defending the tag belts in Australia
Yeah.
to then doing the TBS match tonight, I think, and then like you say, getting a decent chunk of time having four women wrestling for that, I think was good and showed that there's that isn't being deprioritized, which is good. I really enjoyed the ending as well. It was quite interesting. Willow taking the win, stealing the win almost, which was
Yeah.
quite exciting. And yeah, it was just a good time all around. I've seen me and Shirakawa as well was on the card at Grand Slam with the hair versus hair match, which was
Oh my
what was
God.
really popping me was just how much disdain they had for Wheeler Yuta and comms. I mean, and even during this episode,
Yes.
like they just kept going on about it. Like they had real
Yeah.
heat. They were like, his greasy hair. They're like, when are we going to
Yes.
see this bald man? It was like they were really really overdoing it. I was
Yeah.
like, we get it, guys.
I loved that whole match because what they managed to do was like craft a tag team match where it was really important who pinned who in the finish. So it was really deeply important that Tony Storm pinned Wheeler Yuta because of the location obviously being in Australia and Tony Storm being Australian. Obviously that's going to get a huge reaction, but it had to be Wheeler getting his head shaved. It just had to be because everyone fucking hates him. It couldn't be anyone else. And like you said, the commentary were really like overdoing it and stuff, and they were chanting shit cunt at him. It was just perfect. And like thank God that AEW has embraced like the intergender dynamics of wrestling. Otherwise that couldn't have happened.
But I think Tony Storm is the glue that has allowed that to happen.
Yeah.
Like her character is so, I don't know, just so quirky and so fluid and so believable. Like you don't need to
So
suspend
true.
belief. I'm like, yeah, Tony Storm could devour five men. Like I totally believe
Absolutely.
that.
Yeah.
And that's just emotive. It's got nothing to do with physical strength. So I think she really
Exactly.
deserves her flowers in that conversation because I think she's the one who's really pioneered it
Yeah.
for
I
sure.
think it's so right. Yeah, that's absolutely right. But it was perfect. And then Moxley like making Yuta get his head shaved and like stick to his word. And Danielson was saying on commentary like, yeah, I disagree with a lot of John Moxley, but the fans like him now because he's authentic and he's real and he's a man of his word. I'll give him that. So just played out really well. And that was also interestingly, Willow
Mox's
Knight.
face as well. I'm sorry. When he was getting his head shaved,
Oh my God, it was,
Mox's face of just disgust.
yeah. It was like, how is he not
Tony
laughing?
Storm just clipping. Like, yeah, it was just everyone was so bought into it, and yet it's like, how did no one break character?
Because Tony Storm was
They were locked
fully,
in.
yeah, Tony Storm was fully locked in, especially and like emoting the whole time and saying stupid things as she was like going in with the scissors. How did Wheeler Yuta not laugh? And it's actually one of the only times I think I've actually seen Orange Cassidy with a proper big smile on his face. Bless him, it warmed up my heart. But this, speaking of like Willow Nightingale and her work ethic, this was her third successful title defense in 5 days, and that is including on the other side of the world. So big up to Willow Nightingale. What a fantastic champion she is. And I'm loving it. McDonald's, I'm loving it. It's all great in the women's division as far as I'm concerned at the moment. Did you have anything else to add about that segment, or should we move on to the next one?
No, I was just gonna say they're bringing mini egg McFlurry and a mini egg frappe to McDonald's next
Oh,
month
thank
in the UK.
God. I'm not religious, but thank you, Jesus, for bringing us Easter.
Yeah, this is what Jesus would want.
It really is. He died for our right to eat chocolate and mini eggs. Amen. Sorry if that's offensive to anyone. Speaking of offensive, we had MJF on the microphone, which could have gone really badly, especially considering things that we've talked about at the beginning of this podcast to do with Hangman Adam Page. But I feel like
I'm surprised he didn't hit. That was low hanging fruit, and he didn't.
Innit? I feel like he reeled himself in, like he held himself back from addressing that situation. He stayed locked in on topic.
But I feel like that would have damaged. I feel like there is a degree of MJF where he's so dogmatic for AEW and he's so for the product. And
true.
I feel like it's almost burying in a way to bring that up. And I'm not saying it shouldn't be brought up because of the betterment of the product, but I'm just thinking from a business standpoint, this is like still the shit hot top babyface who is Mr. Progressive. And what is that going to look like for the product? And then also that muddies the feud, doesn't it? So it's like,
oh yeah, definitely.
What is the benefit of bringing? I mean, what is the benefit of bringing up accountability? Absolutely, but in terms of wrestling and optics,
I don't think that bringing it up like in a wrestling promo would equal like not equality, accountability. I feel like it would just equal cheap heat. So yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, no, not the right time, and I'm happy that he didn't. But what MJF did say was that he hates everything about Hangman. He's bitter because Hangman's beaten him twice.
I hate you. I fucking hate you.
By the way, this whole thing was this segment ones. They've agreed to absolutely no physicality whatsoever. It's like, right, shut up, I get it. So that he was like egging Hangman on, like, well, you've won the championship twice and crumbled under pressure twice, which, you know, Max was raising pretty valid points and pointing out the character flaws in Hangman Adam Page, which, you know, you couldn't really say, oh, well, he's being an arsehole. Like, you know, it was all rooted in truth, what he was saying. Hangman retaliate is that MJF has collected the spoils of greater men, basically, you know, inserting himself into the title match and sort of chilling. He sort of implied that he didn't really do anything in that match and sort of chilled and then stole the win. He said, and I quote, "I hate you so much worse," which made me laugh. But then
I hate you so much worse, Max. Like so impassioned as well. Why are we speaking like toddlers?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
I hate you worse.
That's exactly what I was.
I don't want to play with you anymore.
It does sound like a playground argument. I hate you so much worse. And then Hangman got kind of deep. He said, "I've never met someone more like me. Because you're desperate for love and acceptance. You're loyal to AEW. You need the championship.
Aren't we all? Oh my God, we're all like this.
It literally just described podcast. And he said he wants to end it forever at Revolution. And he says it can't be a normal match, and we both know it can't be a normal match, but let's let the people decide. And Max is like, fuck no, go fuck yourself. And Hangman's like, well, you're
Do you
just
remember back in the day, those sorry, what were you saying there?
chicken. They basically call him a chicken, is what I was getting at. Continue.
Okay, sorry, I was like, this is a good time to interrupt, and then it was just like chicken. I'm like, what? No, I was gonna say, do you remember back in the day, WWE would have those raw polls, and it'd be like, let the fans decide, but it
Yes.
would be so fucking obviously rigged.
Oh no, even worse than it being rigged, it would be choose a stipulation, it'd be no DQ match, street fight, DLC match, and they're all the fucking same.
And do you remember they'd have like that spin the wheel thing as well?
Yes. I do remember that.
Yeah, spin the wheel, and it would, yeah. And they'd get like obvious plants from in the crowd to like spin the wheel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, those were the
I
days.
remember the draft as well. Like I used to fucking love the draft, man. That meant a lot in the Estelle household.
Yeah.
It was really
Mm,
tense for me, especially when I was in
yeah,
my
it was.
believing wrestling is real phase. Like
Mm,
that was
yeah.
intense for me. I'm like, oh my God. And even when I knew it wasn't real, like I was like, oh, this boyfriend and this girlfriend are gonna be apart. This
Oh,
is so
but
sad,
yeah.
guys.
I mean, it actually is kind of sad. And I'm sure there's been instances where people didn't realize they were being drafted. I remember JR didn't know he was being drafted and he was told on air. And he was like, what the actual fuck, guys? So, I mean, yeah, sometimes the draft is real. Um, and- what? Oh, yeah,
Yeah, and they're
so
acting like it's like a draft to go to war. Like it's so intense. Who are you gonna be? And now I'm Raw and I must wear the Raw shirt at
blue
Survivor
versus
Series.
red.
I fucking love SmackDown.
Oh, guys, you need to go follow
I
the
need that in
TikTok. It's some of
AEW.
our best TikToks.
I just need that. I need someone to just be riding really hard for Collision.
Fucking love Collision. Ride or die for Collision.
CM Punk circa 2024.
Oh my God.
Where
Continue.
were we?
Oh, so yeah, Hangman was
Where
like,
were we?
fuck Bog, you're a fucking chicken, and was like, well, Max, how about this? If you accept the stipulation, I won't challenge for the title ever again if I lose. So it's like, oh my fucking God. And Hangman's like, I know, I want Texas Death. And I believe that Max is going to come back with a stipulation and then the fans get to choose.
Yes, no, you are right about that. Yeah, absolutely.
That's fun. So I hope it's something totally unhinged because I can't think of anything better than a Texas Death Match, but I'm willing to be proven wrong.
Yeah. I do feel like the promo itself was a bit paint by numbers, like you're chicken,
Yeah.
Max then gets heat, I'm not a chicken. But
Yeah.
it's like you say, it's all reliable, it works, and they've raised really high stakes, so I'm intrigued because it could go to shit, it could go well. I'm just in a moment of suspension with it all.
Yeah. After that, we had like a backstage segment with the Death Riders, and John Moxley is like beaten up after his match, but he's still sort of hung up on Takeshita, and he's talking about woofs, which is how we pronounce wolves, which is so fucking funny, and I love it. He said, I don't like woofs, they're too needy, I prefer coyotes, and comparing the Death Riders to coyotes, basically. And
Fridays fairies confirmed.
yeah, pretty much. So then, I believe I can't.
Oh my God, someone could write some great like Alpha Omega fan fiction for the Death Riders now.
Well, I mean, you're talking about Alpha, Takeshita. I mean, I'm sure that probably already exists actually. But there's going to be like some sort of tag team match on Collision, and also Moxley wants to fight Takeshita at Revolution. No time limit, so no time limit.
Yeah, no time
this
limit.
time. They're gonna go for a fucking 75-minute classic, baby.
Yeah,
But-
that's great, and that is the perfect stip for after that stellar match.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
I'm a
Looking forward
huge
to that.
fan. Can't wait.
Same.
Okay, so then after that we had Cassidy and Ishii against Gabe Kidd and Lucy's favorite unknown wrestler, Clark Connors. This is an interesting matchup. Feels very fresh, despite the fact that three of these dudes are New Japan through and through. I thought it was a
Yeah,
good
true.
showcase. Um, yeah, we had Connors gouging the eyes of Ishii and Darby attacking Gabe Kidd from behind when he was sort of at the barricade near the crowd. He was pulled, like he just came out of nowhere in typical Darby fashion and just kind of pulled him away. Like,
It's
even though
hilarious.
Gabe Kidd is fucking massive, it defied physics, but it was hilarious. Uh, and then this made no sense, but I had fun, so I didn't question it too much. But so Gabe Kidd's been pulled away 5 minutes ago, and then suddenly Clark Connors is so dazed that like he suddenly has lost the ability to lock in, and then suddenly like Super Smash Bros. Combo ending move of like the orange punch and the brain buster by Ishii to pin him. I was like, it just makes no sense, but sure. Um, but yeah, I thought it was good. Um, and yeah, Gabe Kidd and Darby Allin, baby, it never dies.
Oh my God. I think this is like my main thing with it is like I thought it was over, but then suddenly he's
It's
got a
never
mate
over.
who's like egging him on, like, oh, come on, let's go get him again. So they go after him again.
Fucking goons, man. Seriously.
Yeah.
That's the thing about AEW though, because like obviously we are nearing the third month of the year, and I feel like I probably missed a week or maybe two at the start of the hiatus, and then I started watching the product again properly before coming back to podcast. But even still, like it wasn't until I actually sat and wrote the notes that I really took stock of like what is actually happening with the product
Yeah.
deeply. And it feels like so much has changed and yet nothing has changed is the way I would describe it.
That's so
Like it's
true.
very bizarre.
Yeah, that is so fucking true. Which it makes no sense, but it's incredibly accurate. Yeah, it was like I thought like it was he in the Death Riders, Gabe Kid. He's got another mate down. It's like changed friendship groups. They kidnapped Darby Allin like a couple of weeks ago. They literally kidnapped him. I mean, gosh. And then they're basically just being thugs.
I think Darby would fit in well with them, to be fair.
Yeah, actually,
Um,
I feel like they'd be besties.
like Gabe Kidd is very unhinged,
Yeah,
so I feel like they could form a little like maybe they just push Darby to his limits so much, and Darby's like, "Do you know what? I respect you."
actually, I feel like that would work quite well. That
Yeah.
might be the best of this situation.
Well, at least then he's not constantly attacking him.
Yeah,
Can go attack other people. Um,
yeah, just gang up.
yeah. Then we had the Don Callis family. Callis accepts Mox's challenge on Takeshita's behalf. Okada, oh, he's petty. He showed up, unlike Takeshita.
Yeah,
Andrade's got eyes on the world title. And yeah, then I just wrote notes about how I liked Andrade and the Callis family. I liked the segment. It was very full, lots of direction. No one in. I'm gonna call them the pillars. The big four of the Callis family is meandering. Everyone's got direction. Everyone's got shit to do, which is good. I like it, and that it's not getting lost in the mix at all. One person's being pushed strongly in the family, so the others just kind of float around, which is what it's like for a long time. They're all kind of playing into each other and bouncing off of each other. And I am put a gun to my head, but I am quite enjoying the Callis family. So yeah,
I enjoyed Josh Alexander in this, looking like he was on some sort of hard drug while he was locking someone in an ankle lock. That was quite
oh
strange.
yeah, I forgot. What was that at the start? Who were they beating up?
I don't know. I actually don't know who that was. I don't think he was
And
ever
it was
revealed.
really intense. It was like a really intense beatdown.
Yeah,
I was like, what have these men done?
honest to God. Just committing crimes, assaulting people. That's apparently what we had Darby Allin being kidnapped and now assault. Yeah. Um, but I thought it was just hilarious that Okado's like, well, Kyle Fletcher's my best friend, but I'm not celebrating him in Australia like Takeshita is. I'm here because I got to do my job. And also Callis,
So fucking petty.
yeah, so petty. And Callis was like, also, Claudio, your CMML World Championship, that looks nice. I'd really like a bit of that. So I think I can't remember which member of the family now is going after it. That I think it might be Josh Alexander. So yeah, I agree with you. I think this is pretty entertaining.
Yeah. And then, speaking of entertaining, we had Hook. As you know, Joey's injured. Um, I'm now the boss of the ops. Wow, that's cool.
Ooh.
And we're gonna get our numbers up. No. How is like I'm sorry, when Hobbs left and Joe's injured, just let the ops die. Like it was good while it lasted. It was a good fucking meme. You know what I'm saying? Like, why do you need to get the numbers up? Don't you have Ops Dojo where it's like unlimited regeneration
Yeah,
of NPCs? Like,
right.
what? And who could possibly join it? And you just know it's going to be someone shit. And can you imagine like being backstage and being having that idea presented to you? Oh, guess what? Like, Tony's got something for you. You're going to be in the ops. Oh my god! Talk about character assassination. But it was so funny because Hook was like, I'm the greatest generation wrestler of all time. And I'm like, why have you chosen this specific promo to pop your fucking pussy? For ages, you're just eating your crisps, Mr. Nonchalant, that's your character. I fucking get it. But then all of a sudden, when like, you've kind of missed your moment now, like the ops had its moment and you could have really fucking seized that and you could have stepped up from that. But now you're like, guys, I've just realised I need to have voice projection in my promos. I need to
Oh
have
yeah,
intensity. Like,
eye
why is this
contact.
only clicked for you now? Like, it was bizarre.
Yeah, and also like him being like, oh well, I'm the leader of the ops now. It has the same energy as like, oh well, the boss is off. So when the boss is off, I'm technically because I'm assistant regional manager, so I'm technically the manager now. So you've all got to do what I say. Like it's got that kind of energy.
What
And
if he
him being
runs it into the ground though, and then Joe just comes back and whoops his ass? What the
that'd
fuck
be
have you done
brilliant.
while I've been gone?
That'd be actually brilliant. But he was like, "Oh, Shibata is handling international recruiting in Japan." I just found it f funny. I can't describe what
I
about that
think
was funny, but it was funny.
it was really funny. I think the ops, right? If I was going to rebrand the ops under Hook, right? So, okay, like, we need to fix this. Obviously, it's wank.
Hmm.
So, Hook should totally distinguish the ops. They should have, like, ski masks. They should come out on skateboards in, like, those
Oh God,
shitty graphic hoodies he wears, throwing crisps at the crowd. Like, there should be, like,
Sour
hooligans
Patch
spray
Kids,
painting up the ramp, like, doing backflips. Like, they're just really extra. Like, it's a really
X
overstimulating
Division
act.
mode.
Yeah, it's like X Division mode, Tony Hawk Pro Skater, and then like
X
they're just
Games mode, but X
vandalizing
Division mode.
people. Like
Yeah.
they do beatdowns, and then like they spray paint something on them, like a big X or like, it's
Oh
just
yeah.
lame. And then like they drink a can of Monster or something,
Oh, very
and then
pretty.
and then. And then the end goal with this is Samoa Joe comes back and he's so disturbed by what he's done to the
Fucking
ops
hell, have you done, you little shit?
that he gives him an ass whooping. And I think that would be a really entertaining storyline.
I actually fully agree with that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love that. It would be
It came to me just now. It took 1 minute to come up with, but
it would be funny. At the same time, it's really satisfying to see that little shit get his ass whooped by Samoa Joe.
yeah.
Book it. Book it,
Book
Tony.
it
No,
and
I
the
know you
bras and
listen to this
panties
podcast.
match with MJF and Hangman. If you weren't a coward, you would do it. In fact, no, cat made outfit
You know what
with the
else?
fishnets.
You know what else I think that wrestling companies are too cowardly to do? I know that what's it called? Heated rivalries all the rage now.
Mm.
Wrestling should do a similar thing where they just fucking kiss in the middle of the match. Like I know we've had Golden
I
Lovers,
mean, Golden Lovers, yeah, that's like the
but we need
closest
to
we've gotten.
rehash this in AEW. Like it's like really heated, and then suddenly they kiss at the end because it
Can you imagine
clearly
if they did that in a Swerve and Hangman storyline?
that'd be perfect. Clearly, the mainstream loves this stuff. Like new people are ice hockeying who have never ice hockeyed before
It would
because of heated
draw in a lot
rivalry.
of people. It'd go viral.
Exactly, it'd be huge on TikTok. It'd bring in a whole new demographic. But I mean, it would probably push out a lot of the existing demographics. So, it's like a balancing act. But that's my big idea. If I was running an indie company, that's probably what I'd go with right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, then we had the Brawling Birds, which I fucking hate this
Yeah,
name.
me too. I mean, what
It's
is that
so
name?
awful.
What is that?
Debut. And it makes sense, right? They're both British. They're both they're both brawlers. Yeah, they're both like got a similar style. They're compatible. I get that. This was just a squash match. Um, it's it's fine. Like the idea of it didn't rock my world.
Mm.
The presentation was exactly what I thought it would be. It, it's
Not the
just like,
fucking
okay,
Union
this
Jack. Like,
exists.
God. Yeah, same. I'm just, oh,
And I
it
really
feels
hate
like.
those
Go on, you go.
okay. I was gonna say I really hate those like squash matches in AW where the jobber fights back. Like I don't want to watch a
Yeah,
fucking job. Like, and I get it. Maybe it's like, oh, like that's their chance and they're wanting to prove themselves. And maybe like what I imagine is Hater and Alex Windsor are trying to be nice and they're like,
get your
this
shit
is a
in.
big deal for you. You're a local talent. Get your shit in. Impress people in the back. I get that. But I don't care. It's self-indulgent and I don't care. Like, I don't believe it. Like, I just want to watch someone die. Like, if it's a squash match, I want death.
I just want to watch someone die. It's still out of context. Um, yeah, I mean, they got a hot tag. The Jobber team literally got a hot tag and some cheers. And I was just confused because aren't Jamie Hayter and Alex Windsor meant to be faces? And then like this last who got the hot tag. I don't even know the name because I couldn't hear what the ring announcer was saying. Literally don't even know what they're called. I don't think they mentioned it on commentary. She took both Alex Windsor and Jamie Hayter down, and I'm just like, why? Why is the Jobber
It's
doing
too
this?
much.
Yeah,
It's too
exactly. I
much.
totally agree. It just feels like a very safe thing to do to put Hater and Windsor in a tag team, and it doesn't feel very creative. It doesn't feel very
Yeah, it's
inspired.
not
I'm not loving
reinventing
it.
the wheel. No, no. Especially when the women's tag division is full of so much charisma and the people who've been put together have chemistry and like I thought Alex Windsor and Tony Storm had great chemistry.
Mm,
I don't think there's anything wrong with putting people together who have a similar style, but it's too safe, it's too predictable, and
right.
it's just bland. There's just
Yeah.
no flavor to it. Um, yeah, but
Yeah,
it
agreed.
gives them something to do, I guess. I wonder what the hardcore Jamie Hater fans think, because there's a lot of people that really love.
Yeah.
They're so fucking winning the tag belts in Wembley as well, because they're British, and Osprey's going to win it too.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god. Because we're patriotic. I feel like Americans, like, well, I don't know, maybe is this patriotism still pop in America? But I feel like, obviously, that's a big, like, Americans, well, I don't know, but like proud of being American, right? Like, it's a big
Mm,
culture that of there. And I guess like that gets projected into other countries, which I don't know, maybe in Australia it is to a degree, but like, I don't feel proud of someone just because they're from like the UK.
mm.
Like that means nothing to me. If they're from Yorkshire, yeah, man, I'd be like, hell yeah, White Rose. But like the UK, dude, and the South, like, I mean, there's like a bit, like, it is cool. And it was cool, like, I don't know, 10, 20 years ago when
Yeah.
fucking no one was in America
That,
that was British.
that's what
Oh,
I was
yeah, then
about to
it's like,
say.
it's
Yeah.
different. But now it's just like, I don't feel like when we were at the Dynamite tip-ins and Alex Windsor came out. Obviously, I think people just like Alex Windsor because like chanting name and stuff. But like the pop is just and I know there's a big like indie wrestling culture, and obviously you're a big part of that, and I get that, but and like watching someone rise from that local talent to there.
Hmm.
But I just I don't know, like I just don't feel that affiliation, and I don't feel any desire to watch someone win a title just because they're from here. If
Yeah.
they're good, like Osprey is different. Like Osprey is like at a top level, like he's built himself there, and like that's different. Like if the meritocracy, like if the
Hmm.
actual talent is matching it, then yeah. But I'm not just gonna Oh, the brawling birds, man. Yes, it's just like what
Yeah,
you know. I
yeah, I
don't
do know.
know.
I'm the same because it's like I wouldn't really like someone just because they're English. Like I would like someone for a lot of different reasons, and if they happen to be English as well, it's like, oh yay, great.
Yeah, a little bonus.
Yeah, and I feel like I can't even think of anyone in AEW at the moment who I'm like a big British star who I'm like, fuck yeah, you're the fucking best. Like obviously Osprey's a huge star, but I literally can't think of anyone. You know what I mean? I'm just like, whatever. It's like when Saraya won in Wembley first time round because it was like a big homecoming thing, and for a lot of people, myself included, it was just kind of like, oh my God, I don't care.
Unpredictable.
Yes, exactly. It makes it very predictable.
Yeah.
Um,
If you could turn one wrestler British, who would you turn British?
um, God, I feel like Swerve has a little bit of British energy about him. You know, like when he was in London, he was just, and we saw him just walking around Wembley. It was
Yeah, he
kind of
just blended
like,
in with his massive
yeah,
fucking title.
yeah, right.
Just carrying that about. But yeah.
Because like he's a rapper and stuff. I can picture him in like the grime scene and stuff, and sort of yeah, that type
And
of
he's like
culture. I
chill. He's
feel
like
like
he's got that like
yeah,
nonchalant vibe.
yeah, yeah, that's it. I think that's it. What about
Yeah,
you?
you gotta be nonchalant. You can't be extra. Oh, I don't know. The Undertaker.
The Undertaker, but he's literally the American badass. The
Yeah, but
British badass
he'll be the
wouldn't
British
work.
badass.
Oh, you know what? I think Mick Foley's got kind of British energy, like British granddad sort of energy,
Yeah.
wholesome energy. I will say though, like I think it's different. Like what you were saying about the indie circuit. I think I. It's like when you've seen someone come through the indie circuit, like you got that sense of pride no matter where they're from. They could literally be an American talent or like a Spanish talent, for example. And
Yeah, exactly.
and to me, it doesn't really matter where they're from. Like Leon Slater, for example, at the moment is absolutely killing it, and I'm like really want him to succeed, and he is succeeding. And it's just like it's not really because you're from where I'm from. It's more like because I know that you've worked hard and like we're sort of it's it's more like the community of the scene rather than the nationality, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So then we had Renee with two former champions, Thunder Rosa and Chris
Yeah.
Stat. Stats out for the next few weeks. Yeah, stats out for the next few weeks, and then Thunder Rosa's just like, "Oh, I'm cleared, so I'll wrestle on your behalf," which
Yeah,
just makes zero
I
sense.
guess.
Okay. Um. Yeah. I mean, I'm not a big Thunder Rosa stan. I don't think she has polish, is the way I would describe it. I think she's a bit rough around the edges. Um, but yeah, I know she has some big fans, so that's cool for you guys.
Happy for you.
Um, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have any thoughts on this other than me. You know, I laughed because that was kind of my reaction to seeing Thunder Rosa. I was like, okay, sure, why not? You come back.
So,
Hello. Just found it
and
quite
then we
random.
had Kevin Knight against the Beast Mortos under the condition that LFI will have a shot at the trios title on Collision if Mortos can beat Kevin tonight, which is a fun principle and felt quite predictable on the surface. Like, oh, okay, this is our match to shoehorn in Collision. And I'll say this was like the part where I was like, oh, like every single element of this show has people who have star power, and even the mid card have star power. Like, yeah, I think it's really, really impressive what AEW's done and what the talent has done, and how through getting themselves over and working really, really hard and pushing out great matches and great work rate that we're at this point. Um,
Yeah, 100%.
yeah, it was short, it was rapid, it was fast, it was fun, but it gave you exactly what you needed from it.
Yeah,
And that UFO splash, I mean, wow, like
such a
his
cool move. Yeah.
form is just perfection. Like, and he's so infectious as a performer, Kevin Knight. Like you can't
Yeah.
help but because this match, it's like probably a toilet break match. It's probably the I'm not saying it is toilet break match, but it's like it's the match with probably the least amount of stakes. It's it's the collision-esque match leading you into that show. Um, but Kevin Knight is so infectious and beats Mortis as well. But I just think as a performer, Kevin Knight just has that he has so much energy about him that you just can't help but be engaged for the ride. And I think the fact that Kevin Knight got the win, like talking about unpredictability, like I think that was uh, a lot of fun as well.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I enjoyed this match a lot. I totally agree with what you said about Kevin Knight. He's got a lot of charisma. I think Beast Mortos, even with the mask on, has a lot of charisma as well. And it's not easy to do that. And I love that they're both like high flying, but they're both also like strong at the same time. It was, yeah, just a fun match. And like you say, like maybe on paper it was the more throwaway match of the night, but it definitely delivered on the front of like, I looked at this and thought, yeah, it'll probably be quite high flying and quite high pace, and it certainly was. Yeah, that was good.
And then we had an Osprey video package just to remind
Yeah.
everyone of his existence. When we
Well, he's
are on the
definitely
road
coming back
to
soon.
all, well, baby, they've got to shift those all in tickets, aren't they?
Yeah, that's it.
It's all timing. Um, but yeah, very, very cool, very hype. And then we had Ricochet. He said he put Jack Perry in the dirt. Um, and then Gates of Agony. Well, one of the gates. I don't know the names. I should learn, but one of the gates was absolutely like you said about Josh Alexander being on crack or something. This guy was on another fuck. He was like on like hook. Like, I don't know what happened backstage, but everyone was on like another
They're on
level.
some.
Tony
There was
Khan must
some
have given him
powder
like a
being
really
passed
empowering.
around.
I was gonna say Tony Khan gave him a really empowering pep talk, but
All
yeah,
right.
maybe one in the same. Um, but yeah, a lot of hype.
Mm.
And they essentially said, you haven't put the trios on the line. That's jet speed rodeo, whatever the fuck they're called,
Yeah.
rodeo, jet speed rodeo. You haven't put the trios on the line. The demand will accept. And then as they walk into their dressing room, there is a knife in the door. Jack Perry, he's not in the dirt.
Oh my God. My guy making his little arts and crafts, violent arts and crafts. Yeah. Yeah, he said Jet Set Rodeo, you won't have to have that stupid name for much longer because we're coming for those titles on Saturday. It's like, yeah, fair enough. Yes, it is a stupid name. Horsecock was better.
Yeah. Then we had our main event, which for the first time ever, which is mad that these two haven't faced off,
Yeah, what the
was
hell?
Swerve and Kenny, and this was absolutely sick. They were locked in right at the gate. Kenny pulling out all the stops, but Swerve ready to meet him. And even from the start, he had an almost mercenary aura, is what I thought. Like he
Mm,
just wanted to take him the fuck
yeah.
out. With Kenny, there was almost like this aura of hype and like, oh, like yeah, I want to beat Kenny. I want to beat Swerve, but like this is a big match and I want a best bout machine match and I'm engaging with the crowd and like
Mm,
just in it like in a more innocent way,
yes, definitely.
and just like let the best man win type of vibe.
Yeah.
Whereas Swerve was like, I just want to
He
murder
was there
this
for
man.
blood. Yeah,
He was
100%.
there for blood. Um
So
and
true.
that's the great thing about Swerve is his facial expressions and how he can sort of tell that story and foreshadow that story even before the crack happens and
Yes.
his turn at the end because then it's almost like it's a shocking turn, but then also it's like
You sort of
you
saw
could
it like,
tell even from the
yeah,
start of this match something was off.
definitely. Like it was just like he carried himself with an aura where it's like, okay, there's a level of intensity here that's not being met by Kenny Omega that's like, okay, there's something off. And it's like, could it go like sometimes you see that type of thing happen and then he's beaten and he's like, oh well, handshake, I guess it's fine. Or
Yeah.
it can go full heel turn and yeah, I thought it was really effective. Like literally my mouth was watering before this match started. It was just It felt like a really big thing. It felt like almost like a pay-per-view main event type of situation, and the crowd were chanting "Holy shit" before it even started. But and then like from the beginning, it felt really personal, like they were slapping each other in the face. Kenny hitting a bloody moonsault into the crowd. It was just another example of the wrestlers not holding anything back.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, and the suspension that they had, when Swerve the German
Mm.
off the apron and he landed it. But even
Oh
before,
my
like there was
God.
a lot of tense moments of teasing moves that looked fucking horrible.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, that power struggle, and then Swerve just dropping Kenny on his head. Boom.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Swerve the house call. Oh, sorry. Before that, we had the V trigger into the banged up shoulder blades of Swerve, but in doing so, he takes out Aubrey.
Mm.
Swerve then hits the house call for an 8 count, but there's no ref. Then we had a Swerve stomp, and the closest kick out is like free, and he like Kenny kicks out on like the last E of free
Yeah.
before the full stop. Like it was crazy.
Mm.
Um, and then we had Kenny setting up for the V trigger, but he ran into the house call and the big pressure for the 3 count. So it was like, whew, okay, like he took that victory. And but when the match finished, it was like, yes, Swerve was sinister, but I kind of was like, well, he was the better wrestler in that match. Like if it was by points, like he should have won. Like that, it didn't feel like dissatisfying or like, oh, Kenny, really, like you're putting another guy above yourself. Like you need to be a bit more selfish. Like if you want to win the world title,
Mm.
because that's like been something that's taken me out of Kenny. But like his momentum at the minute is really strong. And I didn't feel that because, as I say, Swerve wrestled such a strong match. It wasn't like he stole it or anything like that. It was he was the better wrestler.
Yeah.
And then we had the announcement, Swerve Strickland's won, and then he started beating down on Kenny post match. And then things really intensified when he hung him with a chain.
Oh my
And
God.
the most brutal dropping of him through the table
Oh my God.
and repeating, I needed this.
That was fucking insane. He literally killed him. I'll tell you what though, like him hanging him with the chain, that's what got me because I was like, Swerve, you are turning into the monster that you hate. That you literally turned into Hangman. Like, what the hell? I mean, oh my God, I loved it so
I
much.
loved it. I loved it. Yeah, I needed this.
This is
Like,
what you
yeah.
predicted as well, isn't it? Swerve heel turn.
Absolutely, baby.
Just been proven right time and time again. But yeah, I think like there was so many major big spots in this match, like that it wasn't like a pay-per-view length match, so it wasn't slow
Oh,
at any
yeah, for how
points.
much they fit in
Yeah.
and how it didn't feel short and it didn't feel disjointed, I think is a great point. Because, yeah, it just had the average main event runtime, which is, that 15 minutes, 15, 20 minutes with a 5 minute ad break.
Yeah,
So,
making you
yeah.
most of your minutes. They really did embody that, and like the amount of near falls and swinging us in like different directions, especially towards the end. Like, oh, he's definitely gonna win. Oh no, he's definitely gonna win now. It was like a seesaw, and then finally like hitting the big pressure for the win. It was almost like a relief. Like finally it's over, but then it wasn't over, and it was like Jesus Christ, Kenny Omega's fucking dead. He's the goat of getting written off TV with something absolutely horrific. And why does he do this to himself? But I just loved it. It just had me. It was just one of those matches that you just couldn't blink, and every near fall had you on the edge of your seat, and
And I think write-offs are quite
dangerous
predictable
spots.
as well, aren't they? Like, oh, I put someone through a table. Oh, give me something new. But like, yeah,
Yeah.
he absolutely murdered him. And the selling of Kenny for it felt on another level.
Yes. Yeah. It wasn't your average heel turn. It felt really shocking and just like, oh my fucking God, what the hell am I watching? Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot because I'm a sicko, and that's what we're here for, isn't it? So that was it. That was
Absolutely.
Dynamite. I mean, what do you think in terms of rating out of 10? We've not done this for a while. Might be out of practice.
I think a 9.5.
Wow. Yeah.
I think it was a
I
really
didn't,
tight episode.
it was. I hadn't even really thought about it until I just said it. And my first thought is, yeah, I think 9.5 is fair. It was solid from start to finish.
Yeah.
So yeah, 100%. I'm getting excited for Revolution. We're building up to it really nicely.
Oh,
Um,
yeah. When
which
is that?
I
Is
think
that at
is
the end
it
of
in
this month?
2 weeks? Uh,
And that'll be on a Sunday, won't it? Because AEW's become a cunt and it started putting its pay-per-views on a fucking Sunday.
Sunday, March 15th. So we've still got
On
like
March
3 weeks.
15th.
Yeah, 3 weeks to go until that.
Still though, who was responsible for that?
Yeah, Sundays aren't really a vibe. Much prefer Saturdays.
Yeah.
Oh, you've gone really big. It's zoomed right in. Uh, Thank you everyone for listening and yeah for being with us as we come back and hopefully we'll be back regularly and but we'll see what happens but if you want to like make sure that you know when we upload, the best way to do that is to subscribe and also hit the notification button. That just means that you won't miss a single upload as soon as they go up. Yeah, it feels great to be back, the two of us. I've had a lot of fun reviewing this week's Dynamite. And if you had fun listening, then
It
like
brings
I
you into it
mentioned,
more, doesn't it?
oh,
Like it
definitely.
really brings you back into it.
It,
Like
it just it
it
makes you
levels up
think
your
more
investment.
deeply about wrestling, but it makes you enjoy it more because you're looking at the details and it
Yeah, I
definitely
enjoyed the
makes you
show,
enjoy
but then
it.
I've like enjoyed the show even more through talking about it. Like it's up
Yeah,
to my appreciation,
definitely.
which is
Yeah, me
nice.
too. Me too, 100%. And if you feel the same, you can also follow us on Spotify, and that's where you can get the episodes offline, because you can download things on Spotify. But if you're listening on Spotify and you want to see us on YouTube, you can go and do that on YouTube. So, yeah, thank you as always for listening. And feel free to leave a comment, get in touch, let us know what you thought, and hopefully we'll see you again very, very soon.
I must bid you adieu, goodbye, and good night, bad.
I wish you died in the womb!